Like the Washington Post said, the girls who went to Howard University campus trolling, wearing Trump hats, are not martyrs for free speech. I do not believe for a second they did not know Howard University was a historically black college. I do not believe for a second that it was an accident. I think they went there looking for trouble, and they found it. Now, if you look at Colin Flaherty's channel, he'd have you believe that the black students at Howard University came out there with spears and flames, throwing hot burning oil at these girls and forcing them off campuses with chants that we hate Caucasian Americans. That's not what happened. People just voiced their opinion on what they were wearing. Now, one guy did go overboard by snatching the hat off the girl, but I'm going to get back to that in a second. But they let them know that they were not welcome there, and what they did was offensive. Now, before you go blaming President Trump for this, I don't blame the president. The president did not order those girls to wear Make America Great Again hats at Howard University, a pretty liberal campus. Given the situations around the time of the incident where some people are wondering, do neo-Nazis and racist white supremacists use that slogan for their own twisted agenda, it would be understandable why some people would look at what they were doing and saying it was racist. All you have to do is look at the pictures that they've taken. Look them up on Google. Look at the way they're looking at the cameras, and you can see that they're just doing this to get a rise. And then they're going to hide behind their youth and say, "Oh, we didn't know. Please don't hate us, we're just kids." They were just instigating. And the worst thing that happened to them was a few black female students apparently voiced their opinions and concerns online, saying they didn't appreciate what the girls did. And that's it. Now I want to make one point here. If those had been white males who did what those girls did, you see the book I'm pointing at? Well, the book I'm showing, they would need to use some of that in order to survive, because that taking the hat off the girl's head, if that was a boy, that may have been a punch to the face. And now, speaking of snatching the hat off of a girl's head, if that was an older gentleman, he may have been acting like he would act if that was his daughter. Like, if I saw my daughter wearing, okay, what are the gang colors? If she were wearing red, the color of the Bloods, and we lived in a Crips neighborhood and she had a red scarf on, I would snatch that red scarf off her head for safety. That wouldn't be abuse. That would be me being parental. Sometimes older people, I haven't done it yet, I hope I don't, but sometimes older people get parental when they see a teenager and they'll just get a little too familiar. Like in her case, I think he may have snatched that off her head so that some person with serious emotional problems, serious mental issues wouldn't hurt her. He could have been doing that for her own good. Now, another thing that really proves that they were trolling, see, I've been in that area. I've been over to Howard University. I know the street that it's on pretty well. I mean, it's not like I can name every establishment that's there. I've been there quite a few times. But I can tell you that there are plenty of places to eat besides Howard University cafeteria. Why do they need to go to Howard University cafeteria with Make America Great Again hats on? and not expect to cause some kind of problem. There's subway before you get to the campus. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't know why they wouldn't really, and not too far from there. The last time I went down there, there's a pretty good Caribbean food restaurant out there too. So if it was me, I don't know why they would eat there. If they really wanted to come and experience DC, especially during the middle of the day on a Saturday, there are tons and tons and tons of places that are not the cafeteria that they could eat and get a really good wide variety of food. Now, I've never eaten at Howard University cafeteria, so please nobody try to act like I'm dissing their cafeteria. I'm just going by in general. Usually cafeterias, college cafeterias, they can have some good selections, but I mean, if you go out in the town, there's a bunch of stuff around there that they could eat at. And they'd have a lot more choices and variety. I know parking can be bad in DC, period, on a Saturday. So maybe there was a parking issue. But despite all that, the adults who brought those girls to Howard University wearing those hats should know better. If they didn't know better, they should know better. If you're taking some kids on a tour, how do you not know about the school that you're taking them on a tour to? And not trying to think of anything they could do that might be offensive to the school. If I had taken some kids to a school out in Pennsylvania and one of the kids wore a shirt that said Pennsylvania sucks, I'd tell them to take that shirt off or you're going to have to turn it inside out. I would not let them wear something that could offend the people I'm visiting or cause them to get hurt. So I'm telling you, those girls are not martyrs. They were juveniles trying to do a juvenile childish prank, and they got more negative backlash than they thought. Now, if they've been physically attacked, that probably would have fit into some people's agendas, but that's not what happened. They got a verbal lashing, a talking to and talking about. And in my opinion, that's the best thing that could have happened to them, because that's what they really need. They need to know, they need for people to know that, no, we're not going to put up with you trying to come into some areas causing trouble. And you can be as ignorant as you want. You're not going to incite us to violence, but we are going to express our disapproval. Now, excuse me, from a strictly self-defense standpoint, take a lesson, people. You don't wear things to an area that will offend the people in the area that you're visiting. You just don't do it. What they did was poor taste. I'm not even going to cite examples, because if I cite examples, you're just going to twist it around. Okay, here's something that should be politically correct. If I'm going to Smurf Village, I should not wear a t-shirt that says, I love Gargamel. If I'm going to visit Gargamel, I should not wear a t-shirt or a hat that says, Smurfs are better than you, you stupid wizard. If I am going to the Shire, I should not wear a t-shirt that says, I rep Mordor. Okay? If I'm going to Narnia, I should not wear a hat that the White Witch gave me that says, let's kill all cats, or down with Aslan. Some Narnians may have an issue with me, and a mouse may stick a sword where the sun don't shine. And I would deserve that. So don't provoke people with your clothing. I know you have the right to free speech, but free speech does not mean you should be stupid. And you shouldn't try to do things that could provoke people to hurt you. Now, It would have had to be girls to do what they did, because only girls could get away with what they did. Because again, if that had been some boys that did what they did, I think one of the boys might have gotten punched in the face. At least a shove, I'm thinking. So, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay? You know, I don't even wear my political affiliation to areas where I think people might be offended by it when it's election time. You know, if I vote Democrat, I don't wear a Democrat button to a Republican area. If I vote Republican, I don't wear the Republican candidate's button to a Democratic area. I'm just not in the business of trying to offend people for no real reason. And that's what those girls were doing. They were deliberately trying to provoke some stuff. They thought it was cool. Why else would they be giving thumbs up to the camera while they're wearing Make America Great Again hats? Go look at the Google images before they get snatched down. That will tell you all you need to know. So don't listen to the Colin Flaherty channels. They're going to try to make these girls out to be martyrs and calling them women. They weren't women. They were not women. They're not considered women in our society until you're 18. They were children, and they did something childish, and the adults, where they went, let them know just how childish and unappreciated they were. And if you want to glean anything out of this as a martial artist or self-defense person, practice courtesy, you know, from Taekwondo. Practice courtesy. And again, courtesy, mutual welfare, and benefit from judo. Those are just two things people just seem to not want to do. And of course, from the Bible, we have do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know what? They'll get it when they grow up, and then somebody comes into their area wearing some child wears something that they find utterly horrible and offensive, and then and only then, unfortunately, will they get it. So don't believe the hype. They were trying to cause some hype, and it didn't happen. Peace.